So, you know you want to create online courses, you know you want to help people, and you know you want this lifestyle of passive income, but you're not quite sure what your topic is yet. Never fear, that's absolutely fine. The important thing is that you do something. Now, just to tell you a little bit of a story, when I first started public speaking, I had so many different things in my head that I could speak about that I had absolutely no idea what I was going to speak about. I kind of got overwhelmed with the amount of different directions that I could go in and all the different types of people that I could help, that for a while it actually stopped me doing a thing at all. Well, that's clearly no good. It's no good for me, and it's no good for the people that I could have been helping in the time that I was sitting around scratching my head. So I knew that I had to do something. This is an absolute, genuinely true story. One of the things I did was took my smartphone and I went to the park across the road. I sellotaped my mobile phone to a tree and I just started talking at it. And in fact, I brought a friend along with me, great guy, Samuel Osborne, do check him out. And we decided that we would commit to talking to that phone on a tree in the park for 1 hour every week without failure for 10 whole weeks to simply see what happened. And I can tell you now that a huge amount happened in that time. It was unbelievable how just going there with no other agenda than to talk at a tree really made a difference. What it did is a couple of things. Now, first of all, it showed us that we naturally started talking about a certain kind of topic. Because, by the way, we didn't plan what we were going to talk about when we went there. We naturally started talking about certain types of things every time. So this gave us clues as to what we were naturally most interested in and most confident in talking about. What it also showed when we watched the videos back is that we very naturally, without thinking, started talking to a particular type of audience. We were naturally speaking to a particular imaginary group of people that were in front of us, so to speak. So it told us then who our market was that we prefer to engage with, have the most confidence engaging with, or ideally would have liked to have had in front of us without us putting any pressure on ourselves to have decided who that was. So that really, really helped us as well. So what's your topic and who's your audience? Maybe just start talking, or if you prefer to write, maybe start writing. But I found that saying stuff out loud is far more transformational than writing things down can be. So that's a really good way to start. It also helped me when it came to my presentation skills. Now, clearly I was doing this because I wanted to be a professional speaker, but what it did was showed me when I watched the videos back was whether I had any particular kind of tics or facial expressions, whether I used any annoying filler words, what my body language was like on camera. It also really helped me learn how to talk to a lens as well, because as an educator, I'm very comfortable talking to groups of people. I find that very easy. I can look into people's eyes, I can see their smile, I can see their frown, or I can engage with them and I can see and feel physically in front of me whether I need to change the way that I'm teaching or not. Whereas when it comes to this little camera lens, it's actually an incredibly different experience. And I can tell you now that I very much struggled with this at the beginning. I found it very hard, very uncomfortable, and I was extremely unnatural when I was beginning. I used to talk like this almost really, and then I'd forget what I was saying and forget I was talking to humans. It was awful. It was absolutely terrible. So this practice is absolutely vital, and like I say, gives you fantastic clues about what it is that you might prefer to talk about. Another way of finding out what you can do as your thing, as your topic to teach about, is to actually start listing down all of the things you know how to do. So I was educated once by a wonderful man called Sam Cawthorne, who owns the Speakers Institute in Sydney, Australia. And he said to us, when you're looking at public speaking, he said, and you don't know what your topic is to write down 101 things that you know how to do. So I'm going to give him some credit for this method as well. So Think of everything. First of all, you just want to get your brain flowing here. And it may be that you just start with something as simple as how to make a cup of tea or how to brush your hair or whatever it might be, just to start getting this brain flowing. And do not focus on one particular topic. Just literally brain dump everything that comes into your head here. Now, this could be work focused, it could be social, it could be personal. Absolutely anything at all. And don't stop at 101. If you can keep going, keep going. Ask your friends what they think you're good at, because they may actually come at it from a very different perspective. So by writing down 101 things you know how to do, you can then go through that list and start crossing off all the stuff that you find boring or disinteresting or you don't really particularly get excited about when you think about, and slowly begin narrowing that list down until you're left with maybe 4 or 5 things that you're going, yep, this is something I'd like to teach. And just do that to begin with. Like, you can change, you can move if that doesn't work for you and do something else. Another thing I do is start thinking about all of the things that people ask you. What are all the things that your friends, that your family, that your customers, your colleagues, your clients, anyone you know, what do people come to you to ask you about or ask you for help for? What is it that people say you're inspiring about? I don't know, maybe you're an amazing mother under tough situations. Perhaps you've overcome a life challenge that most other people would have absolutely buckled over. Perhaps you've done an interesting job that people always ask you, what do you do? How do you do that? How did you get into that? Have a think about what is it that people ask you, what do they ask you for help for. Write all of those things down, because that may also give you some really interesting clues about what your skills are and, importantly, what your marketplace actually wants. Because if people are already asking you this stuff, regardless of whether it's friends, family, business owners, potential customers or whatever, it means that there is a market for this question to be answered. Another step that we're going to be talking about a bit later on when it comes to researching your market, but this is good for researching a topic as well, is to, once you've got a rough theme, but you don't really know how to narrow it down and focus in on it very much, is to go to public forums, question and answer forums, like Quora, Quora, or Reddit, Reddit, where people ask literally any question about anything. You can type in your keywords for your particular topic. I know, say you want to talk about resilience, but resilience is a big topic. You want to narrow that down. Type in the word resilience, for instance, on one of these forums, and a whole list of questions will come up within that theme. And it will tell you what your audience want to know about that topic. It will tell you what your audience are yearning to get the answers to, which again, list down the ones that interest you in answering, and that can be your topic for your courses. You can answer those questions as your course. So that's a really great way, some really cool tips there, just to how to start to get started. But importantly, just make sure you do something. Your first course may be pants, so it's okay. Just get something. It will help some people, believe me. And every time you do this, like anything, like any skill, practice makes perfect. Give it a go. Get it up there anyway, and make your next one better than that. Make your one after that even better than that, and just keep going until eventually you will become a master at it. Just go for it.